up? What's up? How you doing today? How was your day? Hope your day was blessed. Yes, yes, yes. Mine was 100, absolutely. Okay, let's see who we got today. Let's see who we got today. We have a special treat, actually. My Black Excellence of the Day is going to be a young lady everybody is pretty much familiar with. She is. Only reason why I'm doing this story on this particular individual today is because I just found out. Now I knew about her stardom and her. This is a musician. I knew about her stardom, her music, her circumstances, with her ex and everything. And I didn't know though. I found out about her net worth and how she actually gained her net worth, and it wasn't just all music. Wow, she was doing really good, in the millions as far as the music was concerned. But this particular concept that she came up with pushed her right up under Oprah. So Oprah, as you know, is 2.7 or 2.9 billion dollars. This particular individual that I'm about to speak of as my Black Excellence today is 1.7 billion. Yes, she's under Oprah, and she's only 34 years old. Okay. So the person that I truly want to talk about today is Robyn Rihanna. Y'all know her as Rihanna. Fenty, that's her last name. So if you ever heard of Fenty Beauty, that is her concept, beauty products, right? And that pushed her to be her net worth of $1.7 billion. And think about it. A young girl from Barbados, born in Saint Parish. She's also a February baby, just as I am, and she was born February the 20th of 1988. Okay, so we want to give her the Black Excellence of the Day, definitely, because she did a lot of good stuff, man, and I like the concept of I don't know why I'm not getting her picture up here. You know, everything seemed to be moving, but it seemed to be going real slow. Okay, let's see if we can get it now. All right, my girl, there she is. Yeah. Well, anyway, y'all kind of know Rihanna, so that's her doing her thing. She's 34, she grown, she can do whatever she wants to, dagnabbit. And she's wealthy. But anyway, born February 20th, 1988, net worth 1.7 billion. Her beauty product or her beauty line is Fenty Beauty. So if anybody ever wondered where the name Fenty came from, that's her last name. To help women everywhere would be included focusing on a wide range of traditional hard to match skin tones, developing formulas that work for all skin tones, and pinpointing universal shades. Fenty Beauty premiered at the same time online in 1,620 stores in more than 17 countries at the same damn time. And that itself boosted her over the top of the millions into billions. Yes. And well, I'll say 1.7 billion, and we all know the stories that we've heard of young Rihanna dealing with Chris Brown and the thing that happened with them. And a lot of people want to blame her because they love Chris Brown so much. And then there's a lot of people who blaming Chris Brown because, they love Rihanna so much. So me personally, I totally blame Chris. I don't care what kind of freaking problem he's got. He should have never put his hands on her like that. And I think she should have never dropped the charges. But anyway, that's here or there. She's a billionaire now, highly respected by all, right? Um, so she is from Barbados, and she has brothers, and I think she has sisters, which this story will tell more about it. So I would love for you guys to go and look up her bio and find out a lot more about Rihanna, however you want to pronounce her name, and teach that to your children as well, regardless on her being a musician star. You know, um, she is a wealthy individual, and she gained it not just by singing, dancing, and all that other stuff. She actually put her brains to it, to make something actually that was beneficial to a lot of females, and mainly a lot of black and brown females, because apparently a lot of the products that was coming out by others, it was a issue with the black and brown community that it didn't really cater to them. And it goes for hair and beauty products like this. And she definitely dove in and put her knowledge to it. And she pulled a good team together, because it took a team of people to actually come up with the concept for her. But as far as her name being on it, and her investment, as far as money put into it, she did all that, and she made a wise move. And she is highly respected because of it. She has an individual sound. You can always tell it's her, but she's not always sounding exactly the same. And I love her style because of her accent. I like the way she talks. Always did like Caribbean women anyway, So as far as I'm concerned, she's a beauty queen, and this is the type of black and brown people we should always want to celebrate and share, share, share. Now, if she was just a regular person, I guess maybe, but if she's doing the right things as a regular person, then as far as I'm concerned, she is worthy of being talked about and being spread, the information being spread along, just like I'm doing here. But she happened to be who she is, and she happened to be very successful at what she does. And I'm very proud of her to see that she's not just making it in the music industry, which a lot of people strive to be and only to be, but she took the opportunity. I don't even think I have everything lined up over here, but she took that opportunity that was given or blessed to her, and she took it a step further. So, Rihanna, yes, ma'am, you did a great job. Great job, Rihanna. Okay. Today's topic, I'm not coming up with topics way in advance anymore. It seems like I come up with them at the last minute. And this particular topic, I saw a video of a cowboy riding a bull, and the bull knocked him out. But come to find out that the young bull rider, I think, was 19 years old, and the bull knocked him clean out. And of course, pretty tough bull, and he was about to come and finish him off with a couple of stomps and some horns. But as the guys who were trying to avert the bull away from the boy that's knocked out, they couldn't just drag him out, because the bull would have chased whoever came in. So they was trying to get the bull to run the other way, and they were smacking him on the tail, on the back end, and running and pulling his tail and going around. But the bull's going around in circles, and it's a pretty hefty bull. It looked like 1,500 pounds or more. And it's stomping and stomping. It's working its way back over to the knocked out young boy. And somebody jumped in and shielded the boy with his body. While the boy was on his back, this guy comes in and shields him while the bull is coming in for the kill. And of course, the bull did try to dig in, but with this guy covering the young boy head with his own body. Come to find out, the guy who did that was his father, right? And automatically, it brought tears to my eyes. Not that I'm keen on country, on bull riding and horse riding and all that, but when I saw that moment, and then they was explaining who this guy was, and then they did an interview with him soon right after all of that, and they interviewed the young boy who was knocked out, and they interviewed the father, and they asked the young boy, "Your father saved you, didn't he?" He said, "Yes, he did." Then he went to the father in a separate interview and said, "Do you feel like you're a hero?" He said, "Well, if that's what you call it, but I would protect any of my children with my life." And that just brought, just I feel that, man. You know what I mean? So today's topic would be that who would you literally sacrifice your life for? Who would you sacrifice your life for today? And it would be my immediate family, because my mother, from my mother to my kids, I would sacrifice my life for them. And I probably wouldn't think too much about it, because I just saw the way that the father jumped on, because he saw the bull getting ready to come back round, and he couldn't drag his son out quick enough. So all he did was just jumped on him and shielded he shielded his head with his whole upper body. He shielded him like that, face down, to prevent. And when the bull hit, it did hit him and the boy in the side, but it did not hit the boy in the head. And then I thought that, would I do something crazy like that? If my boy took on a type of sport like that, I can't go in, like my son like boxing, and he's got something he's going to be doing soon. I'm not going to be there for him, but he's been trained well enough to know what he needs to do to prevent himself from getting hurt. But anything can happen in boxing, and he'll let me know when he is going to take part in this thing. It's going to be in New Jersey. It's not really a sanctioned thing, but it's just something that he done got himself involved in. And he's big. He's bigger than me now. And he's got to put on some muscle. And I think he can handle himself pretty well. But if it came down to knowing that, somebody was going to take his life or whatever, I would more than likely try to protect him with mine. And that goes the same for my daughters as well. I got 3 kids that I really have to think about, would I actually give my own life for them? So, and the answer to that was automatically yes, and then a lot of people say, you don't know what you're going to do, Darryl, if you're faced with that situation. But that particular thing there, I think I've done it before with my mother. I felt like that I came to her rescue, and some dear friends of mine, I felt as well, not knowing what I would actually do, but I did what I think came natural. So, I'm not trying to get into, I'm just trying to stay right here on Rihanna. Believe it or not, they were just going to talk about Jay-Z and his wife. And Rihanna is doing very well for herself. You know what I mean? So I'm very proud. I'm very proud of her. But, me jumping around from one story to the next, who would you actually give your life for? And I'm pretty sure it is for your kids, your children. And let's say this question was posed to, brothers and sisters. Would you actually give your life for your brother or your sister? And a lot of people wouldn't hesitate, wouldn't even think twice about it, wouldn't even think that their life is in danger. They're just thinking about saving their sibling or their loved ones, And I think that's kind of how it works. It doesn't give you time to think about it. You just simply start reacting, and you ain't got, sometimes you don't even have time to pray. But if you do find that you have the time to pray before you dive in or whatever, then you go ahead and throw that prayer up. But I think that if you are a God-fearing individual, God will have your back when you when you spring into action. And that's kind of how I think it just works, and any time that I've been in a situation that I felt like I had to spring into action, it's always been, me defending somebody who couldn't defend themselves. And I didn't think about the consequences coming back to me. It's just not a thought. It's just something you do. I think it could be the adrenaline and the way that your mind thinks, the way that your mind operates, and then the adrenaline kicks in. You don't really think about what you're doing. You do think wisely when you go in to do something. You're thinking that way of protecting that person and then trying to get out safe yourself. So, yeah. And I had to be pulled back a couple times. Well, one time where there was a fire that I was going to run into, and somebody just told me don't do it. They pulled me back. It was a long time ago. I was kind of young. I was in my late teens, going into my 20s. Something like that happened, and I felt like it was necessary for me to do that, and they just stopped me, And I thank them really, because the way that thing went up, it could have quickly caught me in there. So, thanks to my family, the brothers that I call my family, prevented me from running back in there. So, I think I don't know where that comes from. It's built in me to be, but if I know that you are special to me, I will go out, as much as I possibly could. And even I've turned situations around where people were bullying somebody, and I turned the bully attention to myself. And I think that's where I had to learn how to fight, because the bully now is coming at me, But as far as that person, I diverted them from having to deal with, a bully. I felt that I was built enough to handle that. And some of the bullies that I had to deal with wound up having families that were either police officers or some type of official or some important person or some gangster, and they kids that I had to deal with was bullies. And then now the attention is on me, and if I get the better of this individual, of course, they're gonna either get the police on me or they're gonna get they gangster family on me, So it's stuff like that. And I could never understand why was it that way when I jumped to defend somebody. It had to be that one person in the whole city that's got all this back. You know what I mean? Why couldn't it just be a regular old bully? As you know what I mean? It had to be somebody who was connected with somebody who was big. Like, well, man, shoot, what kind of break can I get here, man? Dag nabbit. The cops knocking on my door because I did something, something right. And it's your family that's messed up, but you coming after me, Yeah, I'm extremely thirsty today. Yeah, I just thought about that today, and it just made me feel some type of way just looking at that video, and I was like, wow, man, that's deep, to see the father just shielded his son, and knowing that bull can crush both of them. You know what I mean? But you can see how he hunched his back and he was prepared for the blow. But his son had no clue. He was out. And I hope my son never does try to get into bull riding. Not that. I mean, boxing is bad enough, but dag nabbit bull riding, Lordy be, them animals don't have no kind of compassion. You know why? Because they're mistreated anyway. If you know, I'm gonna tell y'all something that you probably haven't even noticed with this bull riding business. How do you get a bull to act that ornery? How do you get a bull to do that? To just all of a sudden just start kicking their hind legs as high as they could just to get whoever's on their back off. And if they manage to get them off, they turn to smash them with all their weight. And of course, they got them horns up there. So these bulls are out to kill whoever was on their back because they're going to take it out on that person. Now, I'm going to tell you what they do to get these bulls like that. They love the more ornery bulls. They love the meanest bull. They love the bull's going to buck the most. They love the bull's going to do anything to get that person off their back. And they give them a nickname. You know what I mean? And that nickname could mean exactly what they've done to the riders. Killer. He may have killed somebody. They call that bull killer. Or Black Knight or White Knight, or stomper. Maybe it's a bull to just stomp people. You know what I mean? But they love them type bulls because they get more points for riding such a mean bull. But unfortunately, if they get caught by this mean bull, it could ultimately mean their life, you know. So how they get these bulls that way is that by their hind legs, their hip area, take a real good look at their hip area, right around in there. They tie a rope tightly around that area, right in their hip, tight. And it's kind of like squeezing their testicles a little bit, you know? And the bulls are trying to get that thing off of them. And they kicking and jumping and twisting. I think we all would do that if somebody was tying something down by our testicles. You know, we'll be jumping and squirming around just like that until we can get some relief. And dag nabbit, don't let me see the person who put that rope on me. I'm going to try to break some necks. So I think the bull, if the bull can think like a human being, that's what that bull probably saying. If I get you off my back, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to stomp you. I'm going to horn you. I'm going to do anything I can to, because you're the threat. You're one of the human beings that tied this thing around my dag nabbit hips, man, and I can't get it off. But if I catch you, I'm going to crush you. And I think that's what the bulls are saying, you know? So, and I don't know, man. I just think that we all have that special people in our lives, you know, that just means so much to us that we don't even fear for our own lives just to protect theirs. You know what I mean? And it's just something you don't think about. It's just something that you do. And I don't know. I wish that a lot of police officers were kind of that way. That when they see somebody being, I mean, a lot of them try to be that way. Let me just try to make that sound a little better, because I'm not trying to make it sound like all police officers are not caring and not willing to put their lives on the line for everybody, because that's what they get paid to do, which I think is crazy. And do I think they should get paid more? The good ones, the less incidences, bad mistakes that you have, I think you should get a bonus. You know, but if you have a lot of these mishaps, then I think it should be knocked down and knocked off, and you know, until you can prove that you can actually function better out in society. So yeah, I think there should be some incentives for these officers, financial, you know, financial incentives for them, you know. And if they don't have that, then of course they're going to be crooked cops trying to get their own incentives, you know. So you know, it all need to be re-examined, looked at, and figure out, you know, and then hold them responsible too for a lot of their mistakes. You know, when that happens, and when you see a lot of black parents jumping in the way between the police and their kids, regardless of what their kid may have done, but they jump in the middle, ready to put themselves at risk of either being shot, arrested, or beat down, because that instinct comes in to protect their children, you know. And of course, it's hard to say. Even me, I say if my son did something bad, that I wouldn't protect him, but I think I probably would, and I would just convince him. If I think that he's guilty, I would convince him to turn himself in. You know what I mean? But and then if I know my son to listen to me, he would listen to me, and we'll just go through that together. It'll be one of those hard lessons in life that I think he would never want to repeat. But you know, thank God that he's on the up and up, and he's doing the right things. So I don't have to be concerned about that right now. You know, but I think he's doing very well as far as being stable, you know, mentally. And he's not a bully, never was. He's a kind-hearted individual, but can don't back him to a wall. And yeah, I think he too would go in, because I've seen him in a couple of times that I've had a couple of encounters with people when he was around, when he was with me, and he was in his 20s, and he just quietly took his coat off, placed it down, and came by my side like, well, if it goes down, then we all in it. And I didn't have to look at him for anything. I just knew that because he's very tall, he's taller than me. So I just knew automatically that, my son was going to get involved, regardless on what I said. I could probably yell at him and say, stay out of it or whatever. But I think just that, you know, because I'm his dad thing, he's not going to just let anybody just start wailing on his dad. And I think I feel the same way because I admit there's one time I can recall that I had to almost get at somebody because they call themselves trying to include my son into some nonsense that made no sense, And I basically was about to lose it, and I just had to get the threat off of him and get it directed to me. You know what I mean? Because he didn't deserve it. He was a nice kid, and he just wasn't. This one, he was like, I think he was about 17. Somebody started trying to whoop at him out of jealousy. I'm like, if you don't, I would. And I just start going off, man. So I diverted the attention from him to me. And that's kind of how I think my defensive, protective way kicks in. I always have a thing of, diverting the attention from the bully to myself, and I think it's just a natural thing. I don't know if I think I'm a superhero or what, but I've tried my absolute best to protect the people that I love. You know what I mean? And especially when it comes to my kids. So I don't think I would think twice about any of that. I may ask my questions and everything and be like, okay, we're gonna have to deal with this, but and then I'll deal with you later. But wherever it takes us, just remember I got your back. You know what I mean? So I think that's just my personality. So and most of us are that way. We never really think about it. We just go dealing with life on a regular basis, and we we don't think about that stuff. But me, being I overanalyze a lot, I always think about the possibilities of what if this or that happens. And I like to be mentally prepared and somewhat physically prepared for just in cases. And you can't stress that enough to a lot of people. You want to be mentally prepared for whatever. And that is the reason why, I think I talk the way I talk and I walk the way I walk when it comes to working out and all that type of stuff. So, and, basically the friends that I keep. I try to keep friends that are not going to bring a lot of nonsense around that I have to see myself in a volatile situation often, So it has a lot to do with it. And if you have friends, then treat your friends like family. I mean, like they're your blood family. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically how how it should be, And as far as I'm concerned, I think I would always be this way till my last days. Yeah, I think so. If you think I'm old now and I'm still thinking this way, So, I mean, ain't nothing wrong with a God-fearing individual thinking like, I'm protect my family with my very life. But of course, if we believe in God, then we really wouldn't have to put ourselves in that situation. But if we do mentally, you have to get yourself to that level. It's scary and everything, scary, nervous, all that stuff. But what would your final decision be? Would you actually shield the loved ones with your body like that bull rider father did? That was deep. Brought a tear to my eye, man, to see that, because I know what it feels like. Not to that degree, though, because my boy ain't getting on no bull. He better not. I'll talk him out of it if I could, But if he choose, regardless on what I say, and still want to ride a dagnabbit bull, yeah, I'm going to have to be there with that. You know what I mean? Give me a bat or something. I don't know, a spear. I don't know. Give me a gun. How about that? I'll shoot it. I just don't want to see my boy getting stomped by a bull. Yeah, where we at? Oh, shoot, yeah. Well, as y'all know, my times are changing, right? Because of my new thing that I have going on. So my times are changing. I'm not trying to drag them out anymore. I'm going to try to stay close to my 30 and make sure that if I can't do the live at 5, I'll do the live soon after 5, 7-ish, somewhere in there-ish type thing-ish. Yeah. But I'm gonna try to hang in there though. I'm gonna try to keep it going regardless of what I got going, and always take time out to bless or thank God. And let me start with that one first. Thank God for whatever blessings that come your way, and then if you are blessed, bless others, right? And just tell somebody you love them. Make that a everyday habit, and that's what I'm trying to do right now, just to tell you that I love you. Facebook, I love y'all. YouTube, I love you. I don't even know you from a can of paint, but I'm gonna tell you right now, I love you. Now that don't mean we're gonna disagree on it. I mean we're gonna agree on everything. I ain't gonna, I don't mean I'm gonna like you, but I'm gonna say that what, I ain't gonna try to hurt you though. If you ain't trying to hurt me, dig it, dig it. But yeah, and just treat people with love and always promote the positive in all of us, black and brown people, and the lovers of black and brown people. Can't leave them out. You know what I mean? A lot of people think I'm racist already, but I'm not. You know what I mean? It's just I'm just proud. Don't mistake in racist or being proud as to be racist, because I'm not. So, I'm just trying to uplift us. You know what I mean? If I leave it up to everybody else to try to uplift us, we probably ain't gonna get uplifted. So I'm my brother's keeper. I think I should just step up the bat and uplift us the way that I do. You know what I mean? Yeah. And on that note, treat people. You know what I'm saying next? Hold on. Let me get it right for the other family over there. Treat people like you want to be treated, and it'll come back around because it has for me. Yeah. All right, fam. One love, keeping them short and sweet. All right? Peace be with you 24/7.